Welcome to the Ancient Alternative View. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Good day to all watching the Ancient Alternative View, the place where everyone's opinion matters. Remember, the truth has been hidden and covered for many years, so all theories to our ancient past are on the table. I look forward to hearing your views. Please like, comment and subscribe below. Thank you. To date, we have only ever explored around 5% of the ocean. But despite this fact, all around the planet we have found evidence of lost, sunken ancient cities. Some of them dating back to around the last ice age, when ocean levels were once much lower than today. These are lost underwater worlds which hold countless secrets beneath the surface, secrets which, according to many authors, promise to rewrite everything we thought we knew about our history. All over the world there are sunken cities. Some have been found, others remain shrouded in mystery and legend. However, in every single corner of our globe, we will find evidence of cities that crumbled and were devoured by the ocean. There's more than 200 known sunken cities in the Mediterranean alone, and what we're looking at are the remains of cities at a time when mainstream archaeology tells us there were no cities anywhere in the world. Covering more than 71% of the planet, the Earth's oceans are a vast and largely unexplored mystery, and even today we have trouble assessing and mapping the ocean floor. For most of recorded history, man could only guess at what lay beneath the ocean's surface. But thanks to some of today's technology, we are able to explore our oceans with greater detail than ever before. Today, we have equipment that can access areas and depths that some years ago were inaccessible to us, and we could only guess what was really down there. How many amazing underwater worlds are just there waiting to be found? In fact, to date, we have explored less than 4% of our oceans. Much remains to be learned from exploring the mysteries of the deep. The ocean is the lifeblood of the Earth, covering more than 75% of the planet's surface, driving weather, regulating temperature, and ultimately supporting all living organisms. Scientific theory suggests that during Earth's last ice age, ocean levels were once much lower than they are today. You have to envisage a world in which there are 2-mile deep ice caps sitting on top of northern Europe and North America, in which an accumulated enormous quantities of water. We know that this water began to melt round about 20,000 years ago and finished melting around about 10,000 years ago. Huge areas were lost to sea. Rich coastlines were submerged by the increasing amounts of water. 10 million square miles of land was flooded all around the world. That's roughly the size of Europe and China added together, just rubbed from record. They just disappear from our story. Philosophers and scientists throughout history have been drawn to one of the greatest mysteries of all in the sea, the legend of the lost city of Atlantis. Most of what we know comes from the Greek philosopher Plato, who wrote 2 books about Atlantis, the Timaeus and the Critias. Plato described Atlantis as a highly advanced city, ringed by concentric walls, which flourished 9,000 years before his own time. It is believed that Atlantis had a huge naval force which it used to conquer other parts of the world. According to the legend, after a failed attempt to invade Athens, disaster struck the island, and according to the Greek philosopher Plato, Atlantis was destroyed in a day and a night. But some researchers believe that the Atlanteans somehow destroyed themselves. The location of the real Atlantis does remain a mystery even today. And even though many archaeologists claim to have found the city, no conclusive evidence has been proven to support any discovery. According to Plato, Atlantis was located in front of the Pillars of Hercules, a location beyond what some scholars attribute to the modern Gibraltar. Researchers and scholars worldwide have discussed Atlantis, proposing a number of theories and personal opinions. Ken Feder, professor of archaeology, suggests several things regarding Atlantis in his book, Frauds, Myths and Mysteries, Science and Pseudoscience in Archaeology. Professor Ken suggests that the Atlanteans were an incredibly sophisticated but evil culture that attempted to dominate the world by force. Practically, Professor Ken portrays the Atlantean civilization as an evil, war-based civilization whose only goal was to conquest the rest of the world. According to Plato, Atlantis was protected by the god Poseidon, who made his son Atlas king of the mythical land. The Atlanteans grew powerful, but suffered ethically. Their great armies were able to conquer Africa as far as Egypt and Europe, going as far as Italy. According to one theory, it was a divine punishment that the continent sank in one day and one night. But there are several other theories that have been proposed about mythical Atlantis. Swedish scientist and writer Olas Rudbeck proposes a rather interesting theory. Between 1679 and 1702, wrote a 3,000-page treatise in 4 volumes called Atlantica, where the author tried to prove that Sweden itself was Atlantis, the cradle of civilization, and that all human languages evolved from Swedish. The theory proposed by Rudbeck was heavily criticised by Scandinavian scientists and authors. Interestingly, according to Atlantis Rising, the discovery of massive stone anchors located at the Strait of Gibraltar suggests that the powerful ancient civilization described by Plato may have in fact existed. Recent evidence suggests, of bright insight, that the Rikat structure and its precise measurements to Atlantis could yet be a further discovery to the ancient site. I'd love to hear your views, Ancient Alternative View, on Atlantis. And I did mention it. Oh, yes, I did. In 2000, while mapping the seafloor off the western coast of Cuba, a research expedition led by Russian-Canadian oceanographer Paulina Zhelitsky spotted symmetrical stone structures deep below the water. This expedition was armed with side-scan sonar equipment used to create images of large areas of the seafloor. They came up with some amazing discoveries. Several pictures were snapped of what appeared to be roads, man-made structures, temples, and pyramids. Most structures were absolutely gigantic, reaching 16 feet in height. Weighing several tons and around 30 geometric structures appeared to be the remains of streets, buildings, tunnels at a depth of 2,200 feet. This would place it far, far, far earlier than any cataclysm, ladies and gentlemen, of the Ancient Alternative View. Speaking about the discovery, geologist Manuel Iturralde remained open-minded, saying, "These are extremely peculiar structures." Funny that, isn't it? And they had captured our imagination. At Cuba's National History Museum, Iturralde studied countless underwater formations over the years and has kind of shrugged this off, as we've heard nothing since 2001. But is there more? Oceanic Institute detected anomalies on the bottom of the Gulf of Cumbat, 7 miles from the shore. Their side-scan sonar started returning images of irregular structures. The images revealed an enormous network of stone buildings, now shrouded in mud and covering a distance of 5 square miles. The discovery was interpreted as the remains of an ancient city or cities. They are positioned on the side of an ancient river channel. They look like cities. They have been submerged for a very, very long time. When mainstream archaeology tells us there were no cities anywhere in the world, scientists retrieved dozens of artifacts, including wood, pottery, and also different shards. This proves to be an amazing underwater world forgotten by our history. 200 miles to the northwest lies the modern city of Dwarka. Archaeologists digging deep under the city found signs of a settlement once inundated by the sea. Interestingly, They were so inspired that they began searching for more ruins in the waters just off the coast, and only 70 feet of water, divers discovered sandstone walls, cobblestone streets, and evidence of a prosperous seaport. Scholars declared these ruins must be the remains of the ancient and legendary city of Dwarka. Ancient Hindu texts explain that the legendary city of Dwarka was said to be the dwelling place of Lord Krishna, a deity worshipped across many traditions of Hinduism. Hindu texts explain that a king named Salwa attacked Lord Krishna in the mythical Dwarka. According to the ancient Sanskrit text, Salwa attacked the city with a spacecraft which rained down energy weapons that resembled lightning. He destroyed large parts of the city in this way. When this happened, the king of the city, the god Krishna, responded by firing weapons at his spacecraft. Very strange. The weapons are described as arrows, but they're not ordinary arrows. No, it's said that they roared like thunder when they were launched and resembled bolts of lightning or rays from the sun. In response, it is said that the spacecraft began to appear in different places simultaneously. Kind of reminds you like our UFOs today, doesn't it? Ancient alternative view. Very strange. The Andes Mountains, Peru. At an elevation of 12,500 feet, lie the dark waters of Lake Titicaca, the highest navigable body of water in the world. In August of 2000, an Italian team of divers and archaeologists launched an underwater investigation of the legendary lake. Submerged 100 feet underwater, the team uncovered traces of paved roads, stone terraces, and a wall nearly a mile long. For centuries, local legends have spoken of a lost underwater city called Wanaku. Lying on the lake bed was a large sculptured stone head, and comparisons were quickly made to a similar stone found at the nearby ancient city of Tiwanaku, just 12 miles south of Lake Titicaca. Is it possible that the Wanaku lies at the bottom of this mysterious lake? Archaeologists have problems explaining why there are sunken ruins there. They're saying that the ruins aren't that old, they're only 1500 years old. What this means is Lake Titicaca has gone through a number of major changes in that period. It's possible that somehow the lake itself and the shorelines were manipulated so certain areas of Lake Titicaca were flooded in an artificial way. One of the most interesting things here is there is a type of seahorse that lives at Lake Titicaca. As we know today, seahorses in ocean salt water, yet these seahorses are living at 13,000 feet in the Andes. This is just amazing, guys. In the Amara legends, the lake is like the place of Genesis. It is the place where it starts, the birthplace of all civilizations of the continent. All of this is located near Lake Tiabuaco, and Pumapunku and Tiwanaku, the city complex, was the center of the ancient Tiwanaku civilization, an extremely well-developed pre-Inca culture that based its economy on agriculture, architecture, and livestock. The ancient culture covered the territories of the Calo Plateau, located between southwest Peru, western Bolivia, the north of Argentina, and northern parts of Chile. The city of Tiwanaku is characterized by its incredible, intricate architectural style, decorated with countless reliefs, hallmarks, which in turn are shrouded in mystery as they turn up all over the world. The city complex is composed of several important architectural constructions. The Akapanana East and Pumapunku step platforms at the Kalasaya and the Kerikala, Putanini enclosures, and the Sebi subterranean temple, Porta del Sol, the gateway of the sun, and Pumapunku, which in turn has countless structures that defy mainstream archaeologists. I mention the word Zone X, ladies and gentlemen. Like many other ancient sites around the globe that have been omitted from mainstream researchers, there is an incredible underwater set of ruins called the Yonaguni. Located off the coast of Yonaguni, the southern Most of the Ryukyu Islands in Japan are considered by many as proof that in the distant past, before history as we know it, incredible civilizations inhabited our planet. I, for one, believe this theory. Don't you? These incredible underwater ruins have been subject of debate between archaeologists and researchers ever since its discovery in 1985. Ever since this mysterious structure has been found, people have discussed whether they are man-made or natural formations. Some researchers and historians believe that the structures at Yanaguni could be the ancient remains of Mu, a fabled Pacific civilization rumoured to have vanished beneath the sea, while mainstream researchers believe these structures are not the work of ancient mankind. Research on the underwater complex tells us a very, very different story. The main monument at the underwater complex of Yanaguni consists of medium to very fine sandstone and mudstone blocks that belong to the lower Miocene Yaeyama group, which researchers believe were deposited around 15 million years ago. The above mentioned are only some of the countless ancient sunken cities that have already been found by experts. The truth is that we have absolutely no idea what else lies beneath the ocean until we put more effort into exploring our planet's oceans with the same passion that we look at for things in our universe. I hope, Ancient Alternative View, that you agree with me that 5% is not enough research to our underwater lost cities that hold the key to who our lost ancient civilizations are.
Hello everyone, I'd like to bring your attention to Dave's new channel. Dave's a very good friend of the channel. He's got 35 years experience researching. He's one of our Jedi warriors like Shermanator and Ziggy Dan. Thanks for all the help to him. There's not much he doesn't know. He helps me very much, so thanks very much indeed for your help, Dave. It's very much appreciated. Today I'd like to send you over to a good friend of mine. This is Dave over at the Stonewall Research channel. Dave, excellent work, absolutely brilliant, and I'll comment on all your stuff. I'm sure you get very bored of me, but I absolutely love your work. If you're not aware of Dave, Dave is fantastic, man. Get yourself across and have a little look at his work. Now, Andrew, a good friend of mine at Ancient History Criticisms, put me in contact with Wise Up. Excuse me. Wise Up's work's absolutely phenomenal. It doesn't need a shout out from me, but everything that I've seen from this guy is absolutely brilliant. He's well worth you going over there and watching. And massive thank you, as always, to Michael over at Lost History. He's a very good friend of mine. And his second channel, Light Up the Dark. Michael manages to get things out before anyone. This guy is fantastic at what he does. I'm not just saying that because he's helped me. He's a phenomenal lad. To get yourselves across and have a look at what he's been doing. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode on ancient underwater sunken cities of the sea. I wonder whether you know any more Ancient Alternative View that you'd like to discuss, but I'm sure there's far more than 200 sunken cities, and they're all lined curiously across the Mediterranean. Doesn't this show some sort of travel route from South America to China? The elongated skulls prove that these guys were together at some point. That is for a fact. I'd love to hear your views. Thanks very much, guys. I look forward to seeing you again soon. All the very best.
Remember, there's always an ancient alternative view. Thank you for watching.